So in previous videos, we've talked about fractions as parts of a whole, fractions as parts of a set, and in this video, we're going to look at fractions as division. And let's go back to the pizza that we had in the earlier video. And let's say that we're going to take that pizza and divide it up between 4 people. And by the way, those little people there are kind of rough sketches of how I look, so you better make sure that you give each of me a fair share. And that's the important thing when we're looking at fractions, is that we want to be sure that we share the pizza equally between the 4 people. So let's cut this thing into 4. First of all, I'm going to cut it down, up and down like this. And then I'm going to cut it across like this. And that gives me 4 equal parts. So I have one here, I have another one here, I have another one here, and I have another one here. And so if I were to look at me number 1, you could say that I get this size piece here, something like that anyway. Okay, that's my size pizza. And basically what it is there are 4 equal parts and I get one of them. And so as we've seen before, when we have part of a whole like that way, we say that that's 1 out of 4 equal parts, or in other words, 1/4. But how do we get to that little piece of pizza to begin with? Remember, we had this big pizza shell, and then we said, okay, how big is it going to be if I divide this up into 4 and give this person one of these equal shares? Well, if we actually write that how we said it, basically it's 1 whole thing divided by 4. Or, as we have here, 1/4, or a quarter, as we say. So whenever you see this fraction sign, it's the same thing as if you actually divide 1 divided by 4, or in other words, the top number divided by the bottom number. Or another way that we have of saying that is the numerator divided by the denominator. Okay? And let's look at a couple of examples then. So first of all, let me clear all of that stuff. So we have these 2 examples here, 6/9 or 6/9, and 14/7 or 14/7. So by what we just said, this 6/9 is the same thing as 6 divided by 9. And of course, we haven't really seen how you can divide a smaller number by a bigger number, so we can't really do this, so we're not going to take that any further. But we wrote it out just so that we can show that the fraction here can be rewritten as a division problem. Similarly, for the second one, 14/7 is the same thing as 14 divided by 7. And of course, 14 divided by 7 is just equal to 2. So the fraction 14/7 is the same thing as 2. That's really all there is to it. Whenever you have a fraction, for example, 3/4 or 3/4, you can easily rewrite that fraction as a division problem with the numerator being divided by the denominator. Hope this helps.